Hi guys, it's Kelly Latavola here, and I'm back with another episode of What Would Kelly Make? And today we're going to be talking about pattern stamping. So the package that I picked is the Happy Hour stamp set and die. This is designed by Kathy Zilski, and it is just super fun. This isn't necessarily a set I would normally gravitate toward because I like to color and it is a lot of solid images, but this is kind of a fun way that I like to get a little bit more use out of my solid stamping. So I've kind of a rainbow of Simon Says Stamp inks here. I'm using the grid pattern like paper pack that you can buy from Simon, and it just sits on my desk. And I'm making sure that my cardstock, which is Neenah 80-pound cardstock, is lined up. Put a piece of washi tape at the top and bottom so it doesn't wiggle around while I'm moving. Does it move around while I'm stamping? That was probably more accurate. And I'm just going to start stamping them just right in a line. I started with my largest, or in this case, tallest stamp, because I wanted to, I guess, have a good awareness of the kind of height that I was going to need. These ones, I'm not worried about filling in and gapping in. I'm not worried about anything like that. We're just starting. And you always want to start in the center and work your way out anytime you're doing any kind of pattern stamping. If you start in the bottom right-hand corner, or if you, start in the, top left, you can leave yourself gaps in between the things that you are trying to stamp. It's better to start in the center and kind of blossom out. The next tip I have for you as far as pattern stamping is to make sure that you're stamping off of the edge of things. It gives your design some continuity so that it looks kind of like pattern paper. So basically, once I get that first line down, I'm just going to go about filling them in. I wanted it to be, I'm not trying to recreate a pattern here. I just wanted it to be a full rainbow colored piece. So there's not going to be straight lines in it. There's not going to be a predictable pattern. There's nothing wrong with those things. And if you have images that are similar, you can absolutely do that using, again, the same kind of tips that I'm giving you. But they aren't for this particular one, because I have so many different shapes and sizes. This is just what's going to work for this. So here you can see I'm messing around to see what will fit into that space. And sometimes you're not going to have a perfect fit, and that's totally okay. So I picked one of the smaller ones. I think this is actually the martini glass, and I'm going to nestle that in there as closely as I can, and then I'm just going to move on. The gap that is there, to me, isn't large enough to cause alarm, but I will show you the gaps that maybe should when you're using objects or items or flowers or what have you that are different sizes. So usually once I get like the first two lines in, then I like to start like filling in one corner and then moving across. That just seems to be the easiest way for me to make sure that I'm getting good coverage. I move the tape as I need to. So I usually start with it at the top and the bottom, but if I need to, stamp in those areas, I'll move it to the left or to the right. So once the top is filled, here's where I'm going to show you what you don't want to do. I'm stamping this large wine glass, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that wine glass. But watch what I'm going to do here. When I go to stamp the second one next to it, I'm not going to move it up. I'm going to put it straight in line so that the stems of the glasses are right next to each other. This is why you don't want, if you have objects that are different heights, and there's going to be a huge difference, you don't just want to put them all in one line. You want to nestle them into each other like I showed you at the top, because we're going to create this gap in between the two that's going to it's not going to look very pleasant. It's just going to look kind of artificial, and so you can see that they don't snug into each other. So this is the technique video. I did make a full card video as well, and so if you'd like to see how I used this this style of background on a card, you can join me over there. So thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you over there. Bye.